3 hours after the incident, I found myself in the station's medical wing, watching a Vraxian physician examine Quellix's hand with an expression of profound confusion. Hairline fractures, the physician muttered, his scanning device beeping frantically. In 17 different locations. How is this even possible? The bone density of a Vraxian is 40 times that of standard carbon-based life forms. Quellix, to his credit, had stopped whimpering. Mostly, I underestimated her. You think? Lieutenant Park had somehow appeared in the doorway, holding what looked like a steaming cup of brown liquid. Coffee, I'd later learn. The human vice of choice. Captain Voss went easy on you, by the way. She's been benching twice your body weight since basic training. The physician's scanning device actually sparked. That's impossible. Yeah, you guys keep using that word. Park took a sip of his coffee. I don't think it means what you think it means. I decided this was an excellent time to change the subject. Lieutenant, where is Captain Voss now? Probably in the observation deck. She likes to stare at space when she's thinking. He paused. Or plotting. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. I found her exactly where Park had suggested, standing before the massive viewport that overlooked the Keltharian shipyards. Dozens of vessels floated in the black, everything from small courier ships to massive dreadnoughts that could crack planets. Beautiful, aren't they? She said without turning around. You knew I was coming. Your footsteps have a distinctive pattern. 3.2-second intervals between steps. You favor your left side slightly. She glanced at me. Old injury. I blinked all 3 of my eyes in surprise. A shuttle accident. 12 cycles ago. Healed wrong, probably. You should see Dr. Kowalski. She's brilliant with skeletal reconstruction. Captain Voss turned back to the viewport. We're making you nervous, aren't we? Humans, I mean. There was no point in lying. Your species is extraordinarily difficult to categorize. Good. She smiled, but there was something sharp in it. You want to know why I crushed Quellix's hand? The thought had crossed my mind. Because he expected me to back down. Because he thought I was weak. Because every single species in this consortium has been measuring humanity against their own standards and finding us wanting. She tapped the viewport. We didn't claw our way up from a gravity well 1.3 times galactic standard, survived 2 world wars, a nuclear age, and climate catastrophe just to be treated like children at the adults' table. Fair enough, I said carefully. But you do realize Quellix will file a formal complaint. Let him. She pulled out a small data pad. I've already submitted my own report, including the part where he attempted to physically intimidate a diplomatic representative during official proceedings. That violates Consortium Code Article 73, Section 9. The penalty is immediate suspension of trade privileges for a minimum of 6 cycles. I stared at her. You memorized the entire Consortium legal framework. No, just the parts about assault and acceptable conduct. She pocketed the pad. Ambassador Vorith, can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you really come to the medical wing? And don't say professional courtesy. Perceptive. Dangerously so. I wanted to see if Quellix was exaggerating his injuries. And he wasn't. I studied her carefully. Captain Voss, I need you to understand something. The species in this consortium, we've been doing this for thousands of cycles. We have protocols, hierarchies, established power structures. Humanity is disrupting all of that simply by existing. Is that a warning? It's an observation. I paused. Also, possibly a warning. There are those who won't take kindly to being challenged. Then they shouldn't have invited us to join. She met my gaze directly, and I saw something in those green eyes that made my spine ridges stiffen. Determination. Absolute. Unshakable. Terrifying determination. We didn't come here to fit in, Ambassador. We came here to belong. There's a difference. Before I could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed. Emergency protocols activated. Through the viewport, I saw ships scrambling, defensive grids powering up. My communicator buzzed frantically. What's happening? Captain Voss was already moving toward the exit. I checked my device, my primary heart sinking. Pirate raid. The Kresh Marauders. They hit border stations every few months, steal supplies, and vanish before security can respond. How many ships? Scanners show 47 vessels. Heavily armed. I was running now, trying to keep pace with her impossibly long strides. Station defense can hold them off, but casualties are inevitable. This happens. It's the price of operating on the frontier. Captain Voss stopped so suddenly I almost collided with her. Casualties are inevitable. You just accept that. What choice do we have? She smiled. Not the polite diplomatic smile from earlier. This was something else entirely. Something that probably would have terrified our ancestors when they were still prey animals. Lieutenant Park, she said into her communicator. Wake up the Lincoln. Full combat protocols. Ma'am, we're not authorized for military engagement in consortium space. I'm not asking for permission, Lieutenant. I'm giving an order. Through the viewport, I watched as a human vessel detached from its docking clamp. The USS Lincoln, according to the registration. It wasn't particularly large by consortium standards. Maybe twice the size of a standard frigate. Nothing impressive. Until it moved. I'd seen fast ships before. The Keltharian Navy prided itself on speed and maneuverability. But the Lincoln moved like physics was optional. It accelerated hard enough that I could see the spatial distortion around its engines, then vanished in a flash of displaced light. Did it just jump drive? Captain Voss said casually. Short range, but useful. The Lincoln reappeared directly in the middle of the pirate formation. What happened next lasted approximately 90 seconds and redefined my understanding of the word violence. Pulse cannons that fired so fast they looked like solid beams of light. Missiles that changed direction mid-flight to chase their targets. Point defense systems that created geometric patterns of destruction so precise they looked like art. The pirates tried to scatter, tried to fight back, tried to run. None of it mattered. When the Lincoln finally stopped firing, 39 pirate ships were disabled and drifting. 8 had managed to escape into hyperspace. 0 human casualties. The communications channel erupted with confused voices. Station Command. Keltharian Security. Even the Consortium Oversight Committee. Everyone wanted to know what had just happened. Captain Voss activated the general frequency. This is Captain Mara Voss of the United Earth Space Service. The immediate threat has been neutralized. Disabled vessels are ready for your security teams to process. No need to thank us. Consider it a demonstration of Earth's commitment to consortium safety. She closed the channel and looked at me. Still think casualties are inevitable, Ambassador? I couldn't speak. Couldn't process what I'd just witnessed. Finally, I managed. Your application to the consortium is approved. Unanimously. I'll make sure of it personally. Excellent. She extended her hand. Gently this time. Looking forward to working with you, Ambassador Vorith. I shook it carefully, very aware of what those hands could do. As Captain Voss walked away, Lieutenant Park appeared beside me, still holding his coffee. Told you, he said. We're absolutely insane. For once, I couldn't argue. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. Maya Reeves moved through the simulation like gravity had personally offended her, and she was here to file a complaint. She didn't use cover. She became cover, constantly moving, never where enemy targeting systems predicted. Plasma bolts traced elegant arcs through empty air while she slid, jumped, rolled, and occasionally just ran straight at things that should have killed her. Vrell watched in horror as she grabbed a virtual enemy combatant, used it as a shield against its own teammates, then threw it into a cluster of reinforcements. While they were recovering, she'd already flanked them, disabled their weapons, and moved on to the next objective. Is she laughing? Lissa whispered. Indeed, faint sounds of genuine amusement echoed from Maya's comm channel. She was having fun, in a combat scenario designed to push elite soldiers to their absolute limits. This human was having recreational fun. Time to completion, Vrell croaked. Tell me the time. His aide's voice shook. 1 minute, 42 seconds, sir. The observation deck went silent. You could have heard a pin drop, assuming pins still existed and weren't entirely digital now. Maya emerged from the simulation chamber, not even sweating. So, when do we start the real training? That was a decent warm-up, but I'm ready for the actual challenge. That was the actual challenge. Vrell's voice cracked. That simulation has a 93% failure rate for first-time attempts. Oh, Maya looked genuinely surprised. Huh, you might want to recalibrate it then. The enemy movement patterns were pretty predictable. Also, the plasma rifle overheating cycles are too regular. Real combat is messier, more random. On Earth, we train against opponents who actively want to murder us in creative ways. Bears, venomous insects, weather patterns, other humans, sometimes all simultaneously. Kragath stepped forward, his massive frame towering over the human. You are either incredibly skilled or incredibly lucky. Maya grinned up at him. Why not both? Although luck is really just preparation meeting opportunity. And humans prepare for everything. It's kind of our thing. That and stubbornness. We're exceptionally stubborn. Once had a guy named Marcus climb a mountain because someone said he couldn't. Mountain didn't even have anything on top. Just rocks and snow. He did it anyway out of spite. Spite? Turvik asked, fascinated despite himself. Motivation is motivation, Maya said with a shrug. We'll use whatever works. Spite, love, hunger, boredom, curiosity, revenge, or just because someone told us not to. Honestly, that last one is probably our primary driving force as a species. Lissa's four arms crossed in synchronized skepticism. No one is that adaptable. Wanna bet? Maya's eyes sparkled with mischief. Pick any environment, any scenario, any challenge. I'll handle it. If I fail, I'll personally scrub every bathroom in this facility with a toothbrush. My toothbrush. If I succeed, you all admit that maybe, just maybe, humans aren't completely useless. Vrell saw an opportunity. Finally, a chance to put this arrogant deathworlder in her place. Fine. Zero gravity combat. Underwater navigation. Extreme heat tolerance. Pick one. All three, Maya said immediately. Simultaneously if possible. Make it interesting. You cannot be serious. Captain, I come from a planet where the weather can kill you, the animals can kill you, the plants can kill you, and sometimes the ground just randomly opens up and swallows entire buildings. We invented sports where we throw ourselves off cliffs attached to fabric parachutes for entertainment. We eat substances that cause chemical burns to prove we're tough. We voluntarily go into caves deep underground just to see what's there. Serious is our default setting, right next to crazy. She was insane. Completely, utterly insane. Vrell loved a good challenge. Initiate Protocol Omega. Full spectrum environmental stress test. Let's see how your Deathworld instincts handle real pressure. 3 hours later, Vrell sat in his office, staring at the test results. Maya had passed. Not just passed, exceeded every benchmark. The zero gravity combat? She adapted in seconds, using three-dimensional movement patterns no other species had considered. Underwater navigation? Her lung capacity was absurd, and she somehow echolocated by clicking her tongue. Extreme heat? She'd grown up in a place called Arizona, apparently, where temperatures regularly hit levels that would cook most species. His comm chimed. Admiral Quintix appeared on screen. How's integration going, Captain? Vrell's mandibles twitched. She's a menace, sir. Completely undisciplined, utterly unpredictable, and absolutely refuses to follow standard protocols. So she fits in perfectly with your elite unit? What? No. She's... Vrell paused. Sir, she completed Protocol Omega in 3 hours. The record was 8. Quintix's 3 eyes blinked in sequence again, the equivalent of a satisfied smile. Humans are special, Vrell. They evolved on a nightmare planet that tried to kill them every single day. They didn't just survive. They thrived. They turned adversity into advantage, fear into fuel, and impossible into inevitable. That's why we recruited them. Not despite being from a death world, but because of it. The transmission ended. Vrell sat alone, processing everything. A knock came at his door. An actual knock this time, not an explosion. Come in, he sighed. Maya entered, looking sheepish. So, about the door earlier. I fabricated a replacement. Installed it too. It's actually stronger than the original. Tested it myself. Also, I brought you this. She held out a steaming cup. It's called coffee. Human tradition. Peace offering. Fair warning, though. It's an acquired taste, and you might experience heart palpitations, existential clarity, or the sudden urge to reorganize your entire life. Sometimes all three. Vrell took the cup carefully. Lieutenant Reeves, you are the most chaotic soldier I've ever encountered. Thank you, sir. That wasn't a compliment. I know, she grinned. But I'm choosing to take it as one. Another human trait. Aggressive optimism. Despite everything, Vrell felt his mandibles click in what might have been amusement. Welcome to Zephyr Unit, Lieutenant. Try not to destroy anything else today. No promises, sir. But I'll do my best. She left, and Vrell tried the coffee. It was absolutely horrible and somehow perfect at the same time. He suspected that described humans pretty accurately. The squad was winning easily before. Now, With a Deathworld girl who didn't understand the concept of slowing down, they were going to be unstoppable. Probably. Assuming Maya didn't accidentally demolish the entire base first. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.